almost all people are completely lost in their experience, lost in their thoughts, feelings, activities, relationships, etc. In other words, for almost all people, there is just objective experience. And the only relief most people get from objective experience is deep sleep. In other words, for most people spend their entire lives without ever noticing that there is something which knows or illuminates experience. In other words, without ever noticing the presence of awareness or consciousness. So it is in response to those people, a normal condition that most people find themselves in, that the teaching first makes this distinction between awareness and its objects. Later, your question will be fully answered, because we will then collapse the apparent distance between awareness and its objects. But it is necessary for most people to make this distinction in the first place, because in the absence of this distinction, we are simply lost in experience and suffering as a result. There are just my thoughts, feelings, activities, and relationships. That is most people's experience. And as a result of that, they are going from one object, one activity, one relationship to another, seeking relief, seeking fulfillment, but never finding it, because they're always looking for it in objective experience. What is the nature of yourself in between two thoughts or perceptions?
The only thing I can find is, in between two
thoughts, feelings, or perceptions. Do you cease to exist when a thought vanishes?
It seems like it's always replaced by another thought, sensation.
But there must be a gap between the two thoughts. If there were no gap between the two thoughts, it would be experienced as a single thought.
Yes.
It's experienced as two thoughts or two perceptions because there is a gap between them. Now, what is your experience in that gap?
Well, if it's between two thoughts, then it usually is a perception.
And
a
between
feeling.
Two perceptions.
It seems to always be evolving and becoming something new.
But would you agree that all your thoughts and perceptions are intermittent? They come and go.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
But is not your experience one continuous flow?
Yes, it feels
you
like
don't experience your experience is not fragmentary. It's just a seamless flow throughout your whole day.
Yes.
Now, where does the continuity of your experience come from, given that all thoughts and perceptions are discontinuous or intermittent? What is it that gives experience its continuity? There must be something that is continuous in experience. The only substance present in experience is awareness or knowing. And that knowing is continually morphing itself into thinking, feeling, perceiving.
Right. That's what.
But thinking, feeling, and perceiving are not essential to it. A movie is made up of a series of separate frames. But we don't experience a series of separate frames. We experience one continuous flow. Why? Because what we are seeing, the screen, is continuous. It doesn't come and go. In other words, the apparent continuity of the movie is actually borrowed from the continuity of the screen. There is no continuity in the movie itself. The movie is a series of fragments. Likewise, thoughts and perceptions are a series of fragments. They start and stop. But they borrow their apparent continuity from that which is truly continuous or ever-present in experience, which is awareness.
Right.
And as you rightly say, it is awareness itself that is morphing into all the forms of experience, but is not itself limited to or defined by any particular experience.